So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a little video about my trading plan and my trading blueprints. We're gonna make this into a little series that I'm gonna collide and connect with you guys on social media. So my plan is now to talk about key points and key facts about trading in my trading strategy. So right now, there's one thing that we have to learn first is psychology. Psychology is the number one thing to trading, I would say, the most important thing. Then we have technicals. So that'll be your analysis of the charts, and I'll show you how to use TradingView and X, Y, and Z. And then there's another aspect to it. So what I mean by maths, so I'm going to be typing in maths / probabilities. It's fine, leave it. So we're going to look into those three aspects in trading and comprise this breakdown into trading. So when we're looking in psychology, me as a trader, you need to find your reasons of why we trade. So there are a number of reasons why we trade. I trade because of financial gain, which is 99% of what people are going to think right now, financial gain. But you have to understand that trading is still a skill that you have to learn. Trading does not come in an instance. It doesn't come in an instance. You don't learn it in a month, in 6 months. The more you master your psychology, this is what I always say, it is 80% psychology, 20% technicals. And it's a skill. Like, once you master your own mind, you master trading. That's another bar. Your own mind, you master trading. Once you master your own mind, then you'll master trading itself, if you understand what that means. And I'll get to it right now. So right now, your reasons are financial gain. Maybe you're trying to support yourself. Maybe you're trying to do X, Y, and Z. So going into this gain, we're gonna think about this now. So obviously, you're here to make money, and I think that's the goal of trading. Money. And I think you're here not for the money. It's about skill. Learning a skill and investing into that skill. So right now, psychology wise, you need to invest into your learning and invest into your skill of trading. Obviously, I won't be charging for this. I'm going to just break it down for you because I think education should be free. I think everyone has a right to learn. But that's what I said. Everyone, including TGR's bootcamp, he'll teach you everything. He'll give you his 10-10 strategy. And at the end of the day, it's how you trade. Everyone has their own perception. Everyone might see a FEG different. Everyone might see the weekly bias different. I think once you master your own psychology, and once you get enough repetitions, maybe you might become a better trader than everyone else in the world, and you might only know that yourself. So when it comes down to it, as I said again, you're here to make money, but learning and investing into the skill is what is going to make you money, and the psychology. So what I mean by that is, we'll break this down. Trading is not a skill that you learn over time or a certain amount of time. It can't be, I want to be a trader, I want to be a millionaire by X, Y, and Z. It's when you master your mind, then that's when you master trading. So right now, you have to think, it's going to take you 3 years to master the skill. master the skill. So look, 3 years for people to get a graduate or degree or bachelor's art degree right now. And I think right now, look, 3 years to master a skill, or even university level. Look, people take so long to master skills. You won't understand how long it'll take you to master your mind. So 7 years to become a doctor as well. So that's what you have to be thinking. You have to be thinking that you won't learn this skill unless you master your mind. Then you'll learn this skill quicker. But only when you master your own mind, you'll learn this skill instantaneously. So right now it's about patience game. Right now you're getting into trading, you're fresh. So if I was you, I'd be thinking about your psychology first and then technicals. Why you want to trade? How long should the skill take? Not X amount of time, but I mean, realistically in your mind, you're going to take a long time to get the gist of psychology and mastering your own mind to master your trading. Master your own mind to master your trading. So obviously there's also this. So right now, I'd say you're quite fresh to this, so you'll be thinking about money, which is not a good thing. I'd probably say it's not a good or a bad thing because everyone's in the game for money. But once that consciousness brings into light, you'll be thinking about being greedy as well. So that's another aspect as well. That's just my dishwasher. But another aspect of this is greed. Greed is a big factor. A big factor of why people are not successful in this industry. People will place down 10, 6 different trades, 6 million, blah 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 blah, X, Y, and Z. And I think right now, that's why I said master your mind and you'll master trading. Patience. Whatever. So it's about patience. It's about learning and investing into the skill and patience. Right now, you're thinking, okay, reasons why I want to learn money. And then your money gains will go into greed, but then you have to reroute that greed into patience. Once you start rerouting it into patience and start waiting for your trade to come to you rather than you trying to chase the money. You don't chase the money, because the thing is, not everyone will have a high win rate of trades. I'll get onto that later because obviously it's probabilities. Like right now, I'm gonna give you a high percentage of win rate strategy, but this is for your own mind to learn. Master your own mind to master your trading, as I said again. So right now, money and greed, but you need to turn it into patience. Patience in learning the skill, patience in taking your losses well, patience in waiting for a trade. Look, patience is a big factor in the game, because if you're not patient with my strategy, I don't think it's gonna work. But my strategy will be higher win rate because my strategy takes patience. You see, some people can trade in a 1 minute time chart and be profitable, but that's only if they've mastered their mind. And once you master your mind, you master your trading, as you see right here. So if we get into it now, learning this skill will take 3, 7, infinite amount of years, as I said again. And the reason why we trade is to have money, but money should never coincide with greed. Patience should always be ahead of your greed right now. So I'm just gonna delete this because I don't even think that it should even be a part of it. Money and patience. I know some people are struggling. I know some people are doing X, Y, and Z, and that's another point that I'll go into now. Right now, I'm going into you should find a hobby or another source of income. Look, right now, I'm not the best of traders right now. It's about finding a hobby or source of income. Right now I have a source of income, I have a job, and I think it helps everyone to find the source of income, so then they can use that alternative as trading as a side hustle. Or find a hobby, keep yourself busy. If you keep yourself busy, the more profitable they'll be. As I said again, people are not checking the charts every single day. Oh, yeah, is this trade gonna go through X, Y, and Z? You need to check the chart for 1 hour. Some people even just turn their phone off, wait for the next day, look at the trade, and they see it's a win or a loss. And that's very mechanical. And I think right now this is very key, like very, very big. Like if you find the source of income, or if you find a hobby, like if you go to the gym, you invest into it. You invest into the gym or another job or another side hustle whilst trading. And I think that's a very big area. Like not a lot of people speak about this aspect because it is very big. And I think money, hobby, another source of income creates more patience for you. So everything kind of coincides, because obviously you have to keep your mind distracted. If your mind is distracted, then you will be distracted as well, which means you won't focus on the trading. You'll probably forget about the trade, if you understand what I mean. So it is very, very difficult to say. So as you said again, money is the reason why you want to learn. Patience is what you have to master. And there's other sources of how to find that patience. And you have to understand that learning and investing into the skill is going to take a long time to master. I'm even on the journey to mastering it now. I've seen people master it in 9 months. I've seen people master it in 4 months. But those people have mastered patience and the skill of patience. Maybe they find a hobby, maybe they find a source of income, but it works for them, and that's why they're profitable. So I think that is a very, very, very key point. Another point for me as well, let's delete this whole thing, is I think in the trading space, there's not a lot of people talking about psychology and how we trade and how we take losses and how we take wins. So when you take a loss or win, I think it is very big to understand that everyone is human. Everyone is human. And the people that don't take losses or don't take wins or do whatever, I think everyone is human. And I think everyone that posts their losses and posts their wins is truly a good trader, because your losses define you. Losses define you bigger than your wins. And that is a very common quote in the trading space, because I think right now, I think there's a lot of fakery in the business. I think there's a lot of fluff. I think a lot of people are posting their wins and it doesn't really count as their wins. Like, I think it's quite a lot of people talking about, I've won every single day. I've won every single day. I've placed 20 trades a day. I've won. I think losses are bigger than your wins, because losses define you as a person. How can you take a loss? So I think right now, let's just say you place a trade. We're not even going into cynicals with this. You place a trade and you take a loss. What would you do? Do you duel? No. What would you do if you take a loss right now? And I think, what would I do if I took a loss? I would probably go on with my day and probably do a hobby, as I said again. Hobby or work. Because if you have a hobby or work, you'll be distracted, and that'll be the next day, and that'll be a fresh day. What you need to do is reset your mind before the next trade, or reposition yourself in the trade, and you feel very confident in your confidence. And I think that's very important as well. It takes a lot of time to master your mind, to rethink and rewire that way, because when you take a loss, you're usually, let me just type this in. When you take a loss, we usually, as humans, behavior. I think, look, on an estimate, 90% of the platform space are unprofitable, and that is a very big number. I think a lot of people trade in this day and era, and no one's talking about how many people do trade. So what I'm talking about is human behavior. When you take a loss, you're angry. You can't think. So you're thinking with your anger rather than your brain. Look, statistically, this is what I always go to when I take a trade. You need to understand that you can't always win a trade. You can't always win. That's why you've done your back testing, you've done your data, and you've realized your win rate is not 100%. So when you're angry, you need to have a hobby or work, because when you're angry, you can't think. You'll analyze the chart again and place another trade. So look, it's about discipline as well. So right now, you place another trade. Hypothetically, you lose the trade. What will you do again? You will probably trade again. And then you'll lose. And then the same process goes over and over and over again until you lose everything and you blow your account and you're upset. Let's stop that from happening. As I said again, it's not going to be very easy to do. So, look, overtrading is probably the biggest issue in the trading space as well. I know a lot of people that have overtraded and they've lost their whole accounts. They've lost 1 million in funding. They have to go back up again and scale up again. So overtrading is probably the biggest issue in the trading space right now. I'd probably say. I think panicking as well. I think X, Y, and Z. Your heart has. That's why I said you have to be patient, disciplined, and confident. If you're not confident in your trading ability, you won't be confident in the trade you've taken. So you'll be checking the charts every single day. So when you think about this right now, overtrading is the biggest issue. Would you rather reset your mind and reset your behavior, and then you go again next week, and your probability will be higher because your mind is more reset and more defined? So when you really think about it, what you should really do is maybe take a break from the day. I think taking a break from the day is going to be very helpful. Maybe taking a break, maybe taking X, Y, and Z, maybe taking a break for 9 days. Because I've seen traders, they take breaks for 9 days, they come back and they're smashing it in the market because you understand that there's no opportunity in the market. Oh, I've lost already. Let me reset my mind and let me go again. Or they're like, let me go check back in the chart, and your chances are probably going to raise higher because your mindset is better. So, if your mindset is better, what do you think will happen? You're more likely to win the trade. Look, your mindset is better, you're more likely to win the trade, and that is just a statistical fact. That is just you eliminating your human behavior, your natural human behavior. And that's why I said it'll take a long time, because we are built as humans to not take losses in a good way. Even if you are the best entrepreneur and you've lost everything, they still have the heart and they'll still have human behavior to be upset and angry, because you can't stop angriness and being upset from being profitable. So if your mindset is better, you come back the later day and you trade again, and that will statistically make you better at trading, rather than over trading, placing a chart, blah 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 blah. And the thing is, look, you look at the chart, you'll look at the chart again, you'll look at the chart again, you'll look at the chart again, and you'll place another trade, and you take a loss. So I'm going through all the possibilities that could happen right now, so we can go into technicals later, because 80% psychology, 20% technicals. So you look at the chart again and place another trade, and you will win. What do you think you'll do? You'll probably take another trade, because it's about discipline. If you can't even follow your own system of, okay, I've lost this trade, maybe we go back again the next day or in a couple hours. No, you'll look at the chart again and place another trade. Or what happens when you lose the trade? Then you go again, and then you go again. Look, there's so many possibilities. If you don't stop, reorganize yourself, reset your mind so it's better, you're more likely to take a better step, a better opportunity, logically. And maybe take a break if you don't find any opportunities as well for like 9 days, 7 days. I've seen guys take breaks for 9 days, they come back and they're smashing it because they know there's no opportunity. And I'm going to say this again, your mindset is better when you're more likely to win a trade. You're more likely to win a trade if your mindset is better. So master your own mind to master your trading. So everyone should be taking notes right now, because this is very knowledgeable information, and everyone will probably think I'm an idiot, because right now they think, oh, this guy, who cares about this and that? Because look, your psychology will affect your technicals. I will demonstrate this now. Look, a trader's technicals and mine very coincide together. Like, even my friend who doesn't even use the same trading strategy will probably take a different trade. If I use the same strategy, he'll probably take a different trade throughout the month, because everyone's different. People reflect their strategy and how they take losses. I know there's a lot of spelling mistakes, but yeah, look, people reflect their trading strategy and how they take losses. You can see, are you ready as a person, psychologically wise, to enter this space and take losses? Because in your head you should be thinking, look, am I going to take a win or am I going to take a loss? Or are you going to step back and come back to the trade and analyze it after? And people reflect their strategy and how they take losses. Look, you take a loss and you trade again. That means you're not disciplined as a person, which means psychologically wise, you need to go train your mind and to become disciplined again. Maybe go to the gym, start building discipline again, start doing X, Y, and Z. Maybe obtain a diet as well. And look, the more disciplined person will take their losses well. They'll go back after an hour and reflect the charts again. And this is off the top of my mind. This is not even from a script. So this is everything that I've learned so far. So right now, I've given you a lot of points about psychology. And I think psychology is a very, 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 very big factor. Like, as I said again. And look, patience, as I said again, is going to be your key to success. Discipline is going to be the key to success, and confidence. Discipline, confidence, and patience. Because patience, you have to wait for the trade. Patience. I don't even know if I'm spelling it right. Patience, confidence, patience, confidence, and then obviously this. So we've got patience, confidence, and discipline. Patience. waiting patience is literally waiting for a setup an opportunity waiting for a setup an opportunity in the market. So you don't start rushing this course. You want to analyze everything that I've taken down, and that's good patience. But if you skip this episode right now, I will go into technicals and you will not know what to do, because right now I'm like, let me just overtrade, I'll lose right now and then I'll take another trade and I'll lose again. Waiting for a setup an opportunity is always key. Let me bring it back, because opportunity, you're creating success, because the more likely your opportunity presents yourself rather than you just looking at the chart and pressing sell, you will have a more likely success rate of being profitable in the space than other people. Opportunity and sell. That's why people, as you see, they don't post trades every single day. They might post a loss, they might post a win, but you know that they're waiting for opportunity because they're not trading 2-5 times a day. So that's it. Opportunity, and then patience throughout the trade. You look at the trade. You maybe come back after 2 hours, 3 hours, and then we check. Okay, yeah, the trade is not coming my way. Let me enter out early. Or it's either you're very confident in your bias and you're like, the trading is getting manipulated, and you go straight down and you take profit. That's called trading with patience, as I say. Confidence. That relates to this. So you have to be confident in your own setup. I can't tell you when you can't have a setup, when you can have a setup, and when you have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to be confident throughout the trade. You have to know when you want to enter out the trade early, or if you want to move out the trade later. But that's another story to tell as well, throughout the technicals and maths and probabilities, and then discipline. In general, discipline means not looking at the charts 24 hours. Not looking into the charts for 24 hours is a very, very good indicator that you're a good trader. Look, you're looking at the chart 24 hours of the day, every single minute, and you're flicking through 1 minute time frame, 2 minute time frame, etc., throughout the day. It doesn't make you a very good trader, because you're always trying to analyze the data, and your mind is not at ease and your mind is not at rest, which doesn't mean your mind does not reset from this trading. So discipline as well into weekly outlooks or plans. So what I mean by discipline as well is making sure you're doing your plan of the week, or your weekly outlook, or your plan of the day, because you have to wake up. London time is about 7 a.m. 7 a.m. you wake up, you're ready to trade. No, you have to make your weekly outlook the day before, and you have to analyze the chart to know what's going to happen. And then I'll go into technicals again, and then you'll understand what I mean. So we'll be looking into weekly outlooks and plans, making sure you do your plan for the week and see what happens when you have to buy, sell, or you have to buy the pair, the forex pair, and you have to understand all of that, because without your plan, you're letting your mind even ponder even more throughout the day. If you can't break down a chart easily like that, how do you understand what you'll do throughout the day? You're not going to look at the technicals, and you're just going to go through and you're going to be like, let me buy or sell, and then you're going to lose or you're going to win. We need to make sure that everyone has a key consistency of winning, because everything in life needs a plan. You plan for everything in life. You plan how to go to school. You plan when you're going to go eat with your friends. You're going to plan X, Y, and Z. And that's why I said plans are very important, because when you look at your plan and the plan doesn't go to plan, then you can be like, okay, my weekly outlook is wrong. Maybe my bias might be wrong, and your confluence, and then you start trading, and then you enter, and you might win, but then again you might lose. But you are more likely to win if you have a weekly outlook, and I think that is what's helped me. I made my mind at ease and my decision making very easy, because Saturday, Sunday you don't trade. You make the plan on Sunday, and then you're ready mentally because you've had a 2-day reset mentally. And I think I'm gonna go on to this again. If you have a mental reset of this weekly outlook and a weekly plan that's in the back of your head, you're gonna think, okay, the plan's going to action now. Let me enter in this FEG, or let me enter now, and you take profit. If you lose, that means your whole confluence was wrong. And I think if you have a plan, you're going to be more confident. And I think it all ties in. But yeah, I think there's a lot of key factors: confidence, discipline, patience. And I think why we trade, and the skill that you have to learn, and then master your own mind to master trading is very important. Because if you master your own mind, you master trading. You don't overtrade, you don't lose. You have to understand, number one thing is prop firms. Look, prop firms are a business at the end of the day. They still have to run, they still have to do X, Y, and Z. And psychologically, they've made this the most hardest way where you can get payouts, because prop firms they don't want to give people money out, because that won't make them profitable. They need a select amount of people to win, but not everyone to win. And that's how business works. So, look, you don't want to give your money to the prop firm. You need to master your psychology. At the end of the day, look, 90% of traders, statistically, not even statistically, I'm estimating right now, lose because of psychology. And I've taught you everything about psychology in around 30 minutes. I'll post this video and I've finished. But yeah, it is going to be a business at the end of the day. Once you learn how to coordinate this business, then and execute around this business and have the leverage around it, then you'll understand how to become profitable as well. And that's what we'll learn in maths and probability as well, because prop firms is a maths and probability game, and getting the edge on the prop firm, because the prop firm is a business. You don't learn how to win unless you know how to cheat the system, if you understand what I mean. But yeah, I think that's everything now. I'm gonna have to wrap it up. Hopefully everyone liked the video and subscribe, and maybe put a comment down. I think that's everything right now.